with us saying that, ladies, you are chosen.
That's right.
You are chosen to walk in your purpose. You are chosen to do things differently in 2026.
That's right.
And if you've been following us on social media, you know that we are giving you all things sisterhood, all the love, all the empowerment, all the inspiration, all the motivation, so that you are chosen. It is March. Today is International Women's History Day,
That's
but the
right.
month of March, we are going to be out here just showcasing all the women in our lives, those out there in social media land, just letting them know that we out here and we leaving our mark, honey.
We sure are. We're trailblazers, baby.
And when we're not talking about women that just work, we're talking about women that are leaving their mark, like really, truly leaving a legacy.
Well, so today we have the perfect example
Oh, thank you.
of a trailblazer, and I know her as, well, she's my cousin / sister / all the above. And so she's making her mark in the real estate land. It's Miss Qianna.
Thank
Beaudoin.
you.
And I feel right at home because both of them are my sisters.
That's right.
Cousins.
Absolutely.
They're married to family.
All
So
the things.
listen,
All the things.
we family. So
All the
welcome,
things.
honey.
Thank
Like,
you. I'm happy
literally.
to be here, ladies.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you.
Right.
I'm so excited
Right.
for this. And let me tell y'all, I love y'all.
We love you too.
I love what you're doing. I'm just excited to be here with
Right.
y'all.
We love you too. And I mean, you're not out here just like selling houses.
Right.
You're selling homes. You're selling ownership. You're creating generational wealth.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it's different. And I watch you, how you move. I watch how you pour into the buyers.
That's
And
right.
it's just amazing. Like people, they will sell a house and then,
Move
okay,
on.
I didn't close the deal. No
Move
more.
on.
I've seen you years after still checking in.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
Thank
you are
you.
truly
Thank
leaving
you.
a legacy.
It's
You
my
know?
ministry, y'all.
It
Like
is.
I
for
believe it.
so long, I struggled to find something. Like I've been good at a lot of things, you
Right.
know, and I've done things because I was told to do
Mhm.
things. Like
Mhm.
being a student, that was
Right.
a non-negotiable. You had to make straight A's
Mhm.
in my household.
Mhm.
But I finally found something that I love,
Yes.
enjoy,
Mhm.
and I feel like I can actually make an impact. And so
You do.
I have fun with it every day.
And look, you do, and I will say this: I gotta give you your flowers.
Thank you.
When we was getting ready to sell our house, who we called?
Right.
And I appreciate y'all for supporting me and believing in me because I was early in my career.
Right.
I appreciate that.
But and you were, but you showed then how much
Right.
you had a desire to do it.
Yes.
You had a passion to do it.
Yes.
And anytime we had questions, she answered the question. She didn't give us
Right.
no. And she
Absolutely.
was like, it was straightforward.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
right.
some stuff that happened, and she made me. She was like, now, come on, now, you know. And she didn't have
Well, that's the only way to be. I mean, because
Right.
otherwise, I'm just setting my clients up for failure. I'm doing
Right.
them a disservice. I'm doing my
Mhm.
brand a disservice. So
Right.
that's the only way I know how to be. So if you don't want what's real, don't come over here.
Right.
And she right. And she was so real about the whole
yes.
process.
Mhm.
Maybe she sold our house,
Mhm.
and then look, then we ended up going to the next process, and she
Mhm.
walked us through.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
She's the best at what she
Oh,
does.
thank you so much. I really
you.
appreciate that. And again, I really do appreciate you for supporting me early on because I know that's the biggest investment most people will ever make in their lives.
Right.
And it's a hard decision.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do appreciate that.
But you do. I mean, like you operate with a spirit of excellence.
Excellent, yes.
Thank
Like
you.
you don't have
Thank
step
you.
in any aspect of the
I try
process.
not to.
Again, when I see you, like for the ice storm, other real estate, you were out here saying what people should do
That's
with their
right.
pipes, saying to leave the
Mhm.
water. Like you were
Absolutely.
giving advice. And it wasn't just to people that have purchased home. You were just giving it to homeowners in general.
Absolutely.
You weren't gatekeeping. She even went and delivered
Uh-huh.
covers
Yes.
to her. Like, no,
I did.
but I'm just saying,
Yes,
you
yes.
did that with not a second thought
Yeah.
because that is who you are, and you operate truly from a spirit of excellence,
Exactly.
and that matters. So
Mhm.
we honor you today
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thank you.
because you are paving
Thank
the way,
you. I
and
appreciate that.
you're an example to baby realtors who are coming
Mhm.
on. You're showing them
Yes, ma'am.
that we need to be as women,
Absolutely.
and let's be honest,
Yeah.
as Black
That's
women,
exactly what I was going to say.
to be set apart.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
honey, you are
Well,
set
thank
apart
you, darling.
and
Thank
chosen.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. I receive it. I receive it.
Because
Yes,
you are.
thank you. I
And-
appreciate that.
And I'll say this, and I'll share. I know, y'all, we have cards, but we never follow them.
We don't
It
know
is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But your excellence spills over into your household.
Every part.
I watch your husband spirit of excellence. You know, that's my cousin. He gonna be perfect anyway.
Yes.
But even
you're right.
right,
But
but
you're right.
even with your children,
Mhm.
with your son, and then I
Mhm.
want to tap into even your love for God and
Yes,
your
ma'am.
faith.
Yes,
Watching
ma'am.
him as a young black male
Yes.
post about his love
Yes.
Y'all.
for God.
Yes.
I'm so proud of him.
Like
I'm
to
so
post
proud.
that bold and
Yes.
apologetic,
Boldly. Yes.
but that's from you and your
That's
husband.
it.
Yes,
That's from his
ma'am.
upbringing.
Yes, ma'am.
And you just don't understand how he is reaching out to his age group. We
Yes,
need
ma'am.
that
We
age
need
group
that.
right now.
Absolutely.
Because
Black
that's a
men, for
generation
sure.
is lost.
Mhm.
But he is connecting them. Even my daughter, Caitlin and Mackenzie, are like, Mama, you saw, and I know his nickname, but I'll be trying to call him by his
Yeah.
name.
It's okay. Everybody knows him by daddy.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
So,
all
you know,
right.
it's like, he's like, did you see his post? So he
Yes.
is reaching
I'm glad
that
to know that
generation.
because y'all, we are just so proud of him. And you know, I haven't always done everything right in
Right.
life, but I just thank God that I'm able to
Mhm.
see my children
Right.
just living their truth. And I just
Yes.
can't thank God enough. And oftentimes I find myself wondering, God, I know I'm not worthy of these beautiful
Wow.
children,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I just thank him. I
Yes.
really do. I just
Yes.
thank him.
Like you
I'm s-
are.
I
the
am
epitome.
truly blessed. Truly blessed.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They're so sweet. They just
Thank you,
both of
thank
them.
Yes,
you, thank
yes.
you. And my husband too. Like I'm just like, you know, and I can share this because we're women. We're gonna be
Right.
truthful.
Right.
You know, society says women are supposed to be one thing. We're supposed to be
Mhm.
mothers. We're supposed to be
Mhm.
wives,
Right.
and that's where we find our value.
Yes.
But I can honestly say that was not my
Mm.
desire when I was younger. I was very career focused.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that if I wanted children.
Mhm.
I never really had a desire to be married. Like my
Uh-huh.
sisters, you know, I can remember little. We would
Right.
play,
Right.
we played house, and she
Uh-huh.
wanted to be a wife, and she wanted to have children, and I'm like, I don't think that's. But mind you, I'm the oldest of five. So if I had children before I had children, if
Okay,
that
right.
makes sense.
So
So
you was like,
I'm
did
like,
that.
I done already done this. You know, I'm going to California. I'm
Right.
gonna, you know, I want to
Mhm.
live a big city life.
Yes.
Like, what's the girl in the city? You know,
Oh.
Carrie. Is it Carrie? What?
Yeah.
Carrie in the city.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Sex in the City or whatever.
yes, like
You
the
wanted
Sex in
to-
the City
yeah.
lady, like that was gonna be my
Mhm.
life. But I just thank God that He knew better because
Wow.
I can't imagine my life being any
Right.
different. You know, I met my husband young. We
Grew up
grew up together. We
Yes.
created this beautiful legacy, as I call it,
Right.
these beautiful children. And I just thank God that He knows better than we do.
I know.
Right. That's right.
He
That's
knows
right.
Yes,
Because
Yes,
absolutely.
listen,
ma'am.
that was me. I was going to be a nurse, and then I was going to be a
Mhm.
midwife, and then I was
Yeah.
going to California, and I
Yeah.
was going to deliver babies for celebrities.
Yes,
You
I
know,
love
that's
that.
my
I
dream.
can see you.
You know,
yes,
that's like, yeah. God said, yeah, I'm going to show you.
He absolutely does. Yes. Isn't that crazy?
He always does.
He always does.
Mhm.
Yes.
Lord
But I
have
just
mercy.
thank God He knew
Right.
better. He knew better. Because I
Yes.
never thought I'd be here in Shreveport,
Mhm.
let alone
Right.
married,
Exactly.
let alone with 2 kids.
Yes.
But it's the
Yes,
best thing
ma'am.
ever.
Yes,
Best
but
thing
here
that
we
ever
are.
happened. Here we
all
are. Yes,
out
ma'am.
here,
Yes,
married,
ma'am.
with kids,
Absolutely.
living this thing called life.
Absolutely.
Figuring it out all along the way.
Figuring it all
You
out.
know?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's what I really too want to tap into. We as women, people see us and they see our success, and they're like, "Wow, they sitting on top of the world." I think of Brandy's song.
Mhm.
Brandy that
Yeah,
sings it,
Sitting on top of the world.
Top of the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You know, and I'm like, you may see that, but you didn't see those times I was on my knees,
That's
praying and
Absolutely.
asking God lead me and guide me, or
Absolutely.
those trials and tribulations that I went through to
Mhm.
get that. So a part of us having this podcast is to have those open conversations, let women know, yeah, you may see the glam and
That's
you may
right.
see the success, but we also want to let you know there was a process
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
there,
Absolutely.
and we struggled along the way, and we weren't
Absolutely.
perfect along the way, and we made some mistakes and had some hiccups, you know. So we just want to be a safe space to let women know, and it's never too late.
No,
Never too
You
late.
know,
Still figuring it out. You know,
Yes,
I've only been,
yes.
I'll be 43 in June. I'll share
Right.
that with y'all. I
Mhm.
started my real estate career later in life, but that was because, you know, I did have children
Right.
really early on.
Mhm.
And I felt like, you know, I wanted to make sure my children were
Right.
okay before I
Right.
decided to move forward with my hopes and
Mhm.
dreams. And, you know, real
Mhm.
estate takes you out of the household a
Right.
lot. Anybody that wants to be a realtor, I'll tell
Right.
you, you know, you're going to be on the go. And there are some
Mhm.
things in your household that, you know, may suffer a little bit.
Gotcha.
But I forgot where I was going with
That's
this.
all right.
But
With the fact of being on, you know, people feel like we should do this at this
yeah,
age,
yeah,
and that
but we're
age.
still figuring it out. I mean, it's
Mhm.
never too late. You know,
Mhm.
once I decided I was going to move forward with it, I hadn't stopped since. You
Mhm.
know,
Right.
hit the ground running. Thank God my children, my husband have all been supportive. My family has been supportive.
right.
They filled in the gaps when I needed them there because my
See.
children are very active. They
Mhm.
played baseball and
Yes.
softball. So there were times, I'm at the baseball field studying. I'm at the softball field
Right.
negotiating deals. And I guess the main point of this as women is not to let people put you in a box.
Exactly.
We can do all
Mm.
things. There was one point in my life where I felt like to be a good wife and mother, I could only be a wife and a mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Ooh,
I had
honey.
to figure out, and I thank God for releasing me from
Yes.
that, that
Yes.
conviction, because
Yes.
who says I can't run a
Right.
business and be
Yeah.
successful and still
Yes.
take care of my household?
Exactly.
Because we
Right.
can. I mean, I'm
Right.
doing it.
Right.
Yeah, you can do it
Right.
all. There were a lot of early mornings,
Yeah.
sleepless
Right.
nights,
Right.
but it was worth the time and the energy that I'm putting into
Right.
it. And
Yes,
now I can
ma'am.
see, my business
Yes.
growing, and
Yes.
hopefully
Yes.
I will leave a legacy.
You
will.
are.
You
I know,
are.
right?
a
Honey,
legacy,
you are.
not only a business, but a brand that
Yes.
will
Right.
survive
Yes.
multiple generations. So
And
I'm
it
just
Yes.
will.
excited.
It will.
Yes.
It's going to.
You
Yes,
are.
ma'am.
It
I
is.
received that. I
Yes.
received that.
Yes.
Because it just, just because of how everything is about you.
Mhm.
We know it's
Thank
gonna,
you.
we know
Well,
it's
thank
gonna
you.
Yes.
I
survive
appreciate
the test
that.
of time, and it's just gonna
Right.
flourish.
I
Because it's
appreciate
flourishing now.
Yes,
It is.
thank
It
you.
is.
Thank you.
It is. And I think back when you said, us wanting to step out and be different and do things different. I remember
Mhm.
watching my mom and what she would do. And then I remember watching what I felt like I needed to do.
Right.
However, now I encourage those under me. You don't have to be everything to everybody at all times.
Absolutely. Right.
I wish I would have hired that maid
Yeah.
to come in
Absolutely.
for a few
Yes.
times. That doesn't make me lazy.
And there's
That's
nothing
It
right.
makes
wrong
me be
with
able
that.
to balance my life.
Absolutely.
I wish I would have hired somebody maybe to pick a child up from soccer practice, or pick a
Absolutely.
child up
Or cater
from
for your food.
yes,
or
meal prepping or
meal
something, or pick
prepping, or
somebody.
your laundry,
Yes,
fold
to
up
Yeah.
come pick up
laundry,
somebody at dance practice so I could be present
Right.
with other things. But I felt like I had to do all of that, and then I found myself burned out.
That's how
And then I didn't
that's
want to be a mom
exactly-
anymore. I was like, I don't want these kids. I
Yes,
want this
yes,
husband.
exactly.
Right.
That's where
Right.
resentment comes
Yes,
in.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
because I'm
y'all.
like, yeah.
I want to
Everybody
see
wants
more.
me to do this,
Yes.
that, and the third.
Not
Yes.
pulled every which way.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I tell moms, don't be open. I
No.
saw a lady had a shirt on and it said hashtag overstimulated mom.
Mm.
I hurry up and jumped in her comments. I said, but you don't have to be.
You don't
You're
have to be.
choosing to be.
That's
Change
right.
that cycle. So I do a little thing that says, if I knew then what I know now. And sometimes I'll post it on TikTok. Hire that maid. Hire
Absolutely.
that chef to come, or whoever to come in and
Absolutely.
cook. And
Yeah.
don't feel bad about those things. That doesn't make you less than a mother. That
That's
makes
right.
you be able to pour from a full cup
Exactly.
so that your children and your husband can get the best version of you.
That's right.
And balance that.
That's
So
right.
I've learned in this older age to at least, even the mistakes I made, to help others not make that.
That's right.
You're not less than a woman
That's
because you're
good.
not wearing all those hats.
Right.
That's
Honey,
right.
I'm gonna delegate and I'm gonna learn to say no.
Yes,
Absolutely.
You know.
Oh, yes.
And that's something that I've had to battle with, is saying no.
Mhm.
And I'm at a place where I don't mind saying no. I mean,
Well, I never had that problem. And I say it delicately. It may not be no,
okay.
but you're gonna get my point.
Right.
I'm not. No,
I love that.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
because-
a practice that. I'm
just
not
because
doing it.
people don't mind asking and
Mhm.
pulling, and the more you give, the more they
Yes.
want. And so
Yes.
it's just
Then the minute that you don't do, then there's a problem.
absolutely
That's
they'll forget the 7 other
Mhm.
times you did
That's
say
right.
yes
Right.
and showed up.
Right.
But the one time you say no,
Right.
it's a problem.
Right.
Yes,
Everybody,
absolutely.
Yes.
gonna be a topic of the conversation.
Right. I had that
uh-huh.
issue just happen. I try to support those who supported my children, and I try to support kids because I know how it is. But I let it slip my mind to support someone who their child has something going on. It really slipped my mind. Like I had a lot going on. But instead of you sending me a reminder and say, hey, are you still donating? You didn't send anything. And then I felt the cold shoulder. And when I was like, what did I do wrong?
Isn't
Like,
that
in
crazy?
my mind, I'm like, God, what did I do? At church, you kind of shady.
That's
And I was
so
just
crazy
like-
to me.
So I
And
prayed.
you at church.
Yes.
You act like that.
I prayed and the Lord revealed, and I was like, oh, I forgot to.
Yes.
But I didn't do it on purpose.
Of
And I'm like,
course
church,
not.
it's in my head, not my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
But come to me.
Just
Don't
be
just
adults.
give me the cold shoulder. I
Yes,
truly
yes.
and you didn't even think to ask. I had issues going on with my health.
Well, people
I'm
don't.
helping my
they don't care.
husband with
People
his
don't
dad.
care. People don't believe in
No.
offering grace.
Right.
Now they want grace, but they won't offer
Right.
you grace.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I want
Right.
to say, it was been times that I've sent you things and
Absolutely.
reminders and you didn't, but I'm not you.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to be you. But then when I posted about my husband's father passing,
Yeah.
oh, now you like, oh, she had, no, I don't know.
No, you should
Keep that same energy.
Yeah.
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 You
You
should have
know?
been trying to see what
No,
was
I
Right.
get it. I
Right.
get it.
instead of
And I can appreciate that,
Mhm.
you know, from a business standpoint, because everybody wants you to help with their organization. They're
Yes.
this and that, they're that. And while
Mhm.
I do want to definitely do my part,
Mhm.
give back to my community, I
Yes.
can't do everything
That's
Right.
for everybody. Because,
Right.
you know, regardless of where I'm
Mhm.
trying to get in life, it's just me right now, y'all.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just me.
Yes.
So, you know,
Yes.
one of these days, but right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's just me.
Right. And I wish us women, because we are pretty good about communicating.
Yeah.
But if I
Right.
could encourage other women to do one thing, communicate.
Absolutely.
You never know what someone is going through. They may
You
be
can
dealing with.
avoid
Yes.
so many
Yes.
issues. Not to cut you off, I'm
No,
sorry, but
mm-mm.
yes, just communicate.
Yes.
Like I just don't understand that.
Right.
Just talk
Just
it
talk
out.
it out.
Exactly.
But you gotta want to talk it out. Too.
You do.
Yes.
But you know what? I just feel
Mhm.
like people, for whatever reason, have trouble having those hard conversations.
And I think we all do. I think
Yeah.
we all.
I mean,
do,
there
but
might be some
Right.
uncomfortable
Yeah.
ones, but
it's
they're
necessary.
necessary.
Yes.
It's so necessary.
It is.
Yes.
And you know, and I
Yes.
think going back to my business, I think that's what sets me apart, maybe from some
Mhm.
other realtors, because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to tell you the truth because I'm
And she
not,
so do.
you know, I'm not doing you
Mhm.
any good by
Right.
lying to you
Yeah.
or not being
Right.
upfront with you because it's going to come
Mhm.
out eventually. And
Right.
if anybody, I know y'all all are homeowners, you
Right.
bought houses, you know how intimate that process
Right.
is.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so you know it's going to come out somewhere. So you
Yes.
might as well get ahead of this.
Right.
You know
You know what?
Everybody
Everybody needs a Qianna.
yeah, but you know what? And honestly, I have had
Mm.
people that have come to me, you
Mhm.
know, wanting to buy a home, and once
Mhm.
they hear what I have to say, we sit down, we do our consultation.
Mhm.
I never hear from them again,
Mm.
but that's okay
It's okay.
because
Mhm.
not everybody's ready to do the work.
Right.
And I would rather have you
Mhm.
just walk away
Mhm.
Right.
than come back
When you're
years
ready.
later or months later and say, well, I
Mhm.
tried to, you know, work with her and this,
Yeah.
and you telling some horror
Yeah,
story, but you didn't
yeah.
tell the part
All the
you
parts.
had.
Uh-huh.
Because you know, people got it bad. They only tell you what they want you to know. They don't
Uh-huh.
tell you
what they did.
Right.
I hadn't filed taxes
That's
in
right.
5 years,
Oh,
or I
Wow.
just, you know, was in my bankruptcy a
Yeah.
year ago,
Gotcha.
and that's not any shade to anybody.
Right.
No, but I
But those
understand.
are difficulties when it comes to
Mhm.
home buying. You know, unfortunately, our parents, grandparents, you know, they
Mhm.
taught
Right.
us the best they could.
They did.
But
That's
we are
true.
not all financially prepared to
Right.
buy
No.
houses,
No.
Right.
you know.
No.
And so it takes some work, but people don't want to do the work. They
Right.
just want it to happen overnight. And so
It's a process.
it is a
It
process.
is.
And unfortunately, when I'm giving them the reality of this process,
Mhm.
they're going to go over there with the yes person who's
Mhm.
going to
Right.
tell them what they
Mm-mm.
want to hear.
Mm-mm.
And then when things go south, you want to circle back. I can't do
Mm-mm.
that. You know.
No.
It's wasting your time.
Every
here.
sale is not meant for you.
It is
That's
not meant
right.
for me. And one thing I
Mhm.
learned early on, all money ain't good money. And I
Yes.
don't want it.
Yes.
I only want to
Mm.
be associated with the people who want to
Right.
put in the work.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
Longevity.
just how I operate.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you know, it's best for you, me, and everybody involved
Right. Right. I love
to
it.
have it
Yeah.
that way.
And you're unapologetic.
She
You-
is.
Very
and I just
unapologetic.
love it.
I
But
mean,
you need that.
absolutely,
You need those
absolutely.
kind of people. I'm so glad you're in our sisterhood
Yeah.
Well,
and our
thank you. I'm
circle.
excited to
because,
be here.
You know, everybody needs a person like that in their
Mhm.
corner. I
Yes,
need
ma'am.
someone that's going to be real. You remind me of my sister.
Oh, that's
And I
funny.
remember when I was younger, we didn't have the best relationship
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was spoiled. I was the baby and I was the brat.
I can
I'm
see
just
that.
being
I
honest.
can see that.
Yeah.
Can't you see that?
But I have evolved. Thank
I
you,
love
Lord.
that.
He, you hear you?
Yes,
That He
yes.
has done a work in me. I have no problem telling people, honey, I didn't want to be. If I could sit on the outside of the old me, I wouldn't have wanted to be around me.
Yeah,
But I thank God
yeah.
that He's changed me. But our relationship now is so much like she
I
can be
love that.
transparent and straightforward.
Yeah.
And then the first few times she would kind of look at me and she's like,
To see how they
Oh.
receive it.
and
Yeah.
she's like, it was shocking because
Yeah.
she was like, no smart mouth comment, no pulling away or getting off the phone, no not talking to me for a few days.
That
I'm like,
cold
no.
shoulder.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm like, what
yeah.
you're telling me is true, and I need to hear it. So I'm appreciative for women like you, for sisters like
Well,
you,
thank you.
That's right.
that are going to keep it real and be like, I could tell her, put me in my place.
Yeah.
I have an issue.
Yeah.
I don't like to be micromanaged, but I will tend to try to micromanage other people. And I tell all the time,
Yeah.
don't let me bully you or boss
Yeah.
you. Check me.
Yeah.
And it's
I be
okay.
telling her sometimes
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
She should be checking me.
As you should, as you should.
But that's a sisterhood.
Right.
That's a real sister.
It is.
We're not just, this is not just for glam and glitz. And this is how we act when we're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
We are really a sisterhood in real life. We get down with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's
she tells
right.
me about myself. I tell her about herself.
As it should
We
be.
don't have to, but we pray for each
As
other.
it should
We
be.
cover each other.
Right.
And that is a real, like people think this, that we are really living out what we want from this podcast.
I love
Like
that.
we are evolving together.
Yes, we are.
Becoming the women that we want other women to become.
I love
and
that.
to let them know, yes, we live in a mean girls world. However,
Mhm.
everybody isn't a mean girl.
Right.
No.
And actually, if you think back, those mean girls, something happened to them to make them be a mean
Yeah.
girl. So I want to embrace them so I can figure out what went
What
wrong. And
happened?
let's fix
Absolutely.
it.
Well, and just show them that not all
Mhm.
of us are mean girls, and we don't
Mhm.
have to be that way. That we
Mhm.
can be, we can empower each other,
Right.
be in each other's lives, grow,
Support
learn from
each
each other,
other.
support each other. It
Yes.
doesn't have to be a competition.
Mhm.
I want you to
Right.
win.
Yes.
You want me to win,
Right.
vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I need a real estate. I'm like tagging her.
And
I know
Thank
she'll be like,
you.
baby, she
Thank
can tag
you.
me in every tag.
Yeah.
Tag. You know, you need an event, you need someone to decorate, tag.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no competition. We all should want to eat and elevate each other.
Absolutely.
You
Because
know?
what God has for you is for you.
It's for you.
And
That's
what
right.
God has for you is for you.
Amen,
Yes.
sister.
And I feel like we all want to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can
Yes.
support each other.
Yeah.
You can have each
Mhm.
other's back. You can still love on
You
each
can
other.
still love
have
each
a
other,
good
yeah.
time.
My target audience is not like our podcast. It may be someone's cup of tea. It may not be
Right.
someone
That's
else's
right.
cup
And
of
that's
tea.
fine.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
But whoever we reach, we reach.
We reach,
You
yeah.
know, so and that's okay. I'm fine. We have other podcasts, you know,
Mhm.
that we know we link up with them.
We
We're
sure do.
inspired and
That's
encouraging
how
them.
it should be.
Because I may tag someone and say, hey, I think you may want to check this
Mhm.
podcast out.
That's
Because
right.
I know that person and what I may
Sure.
be discussing, they're not ready to receive yet. So
Right.
this one may be more welcoming and inviting. This may be something that you can relate to now.
Right.
And so
Sure.
here you go. So I'm always pushing
Mhm.
other women that are trying to do the same thing we're doing because we're not going to appease to everybody.
That's true.
And that's okay.
true.
You just have to be all right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I love it. Oh,
Mhm.
listen, honey.
That's how it should
Yeah,
be.
we ain't been in these
Absolutely.
cars at all.
At all.
Let's see.
Single
Right.
card. Ain't looking at a
Right.
single
No.
card.
Let's see.
That's
If we
so
don't
funny.
right.
Okay.
So I guess I will ask a few questions since we need to do a kind of question and answer
Go
segment.
for it. Go for it.
So here's our 1st
Mhm.
I'll ask this one. Real
Okay.
estate can look glamorous on the outside, the closing, the keys,
Oh,
the
my
new homes. But what's one myth about real estate that you wish people would stop believing, and what's the reality behind it?
That is easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. And we talked about boundaries earlier and people not having boundaries. Look,
Mhm.
I understand that I work in an industry where
Right.
I need to be flexible and I need to be available.
Yeah.
But I am not a robot. Okay.
right.
Gotcha.
I still have a household that depends on me.
Right.
I have other clients. And so I guess advice for anybody getting in the industry is the business works
Mhm.
if you work. There's a lot of behind the
Okay.
scenes that my clients don't even know anything about because I try to shield them from that. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
The business is heavy. You know, every transaction I work, I'm in it. You know, I feel it. You know, it's like my own home
Yeah.
purchase. You know,
Right.
so I don't sleep sometimes.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think, how do I get ahead of the
Yeah.
potential problems? Because
Okay.
everybody's different. Everybody's
Yeah.
you know, financial stories different.
Right.
And so I'm always forward thinking, trying to make sure my clients have the best experience possible. Sometimes I do that to a fault where I'm
Okay.
stressing
Yeah.
myself out. But, you know, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that people don't see.
Yeah.
Contracts, negotiations, issues with title that I'm protecting them from that they never
Right.
know about. Never know about, and they won't know about it because I want them to have the best experience
Yes,
possible.
ma'am.
But it's a lot of hard work. The success doesn't come instantly.
Yeah.
I work
Right.
with clients sometimes for 2 years
Wow.
before we ever get to the closing table. That's 2 years of work where I'm not being
Right.
paid,
Right.
and I'm doing all this on the hopes of being paid.
Wow.
And so every time you call that real estate agent out of their house, you know, you're
Yeah.
taking them from their family, which
That's
is
right.
fine. We signed up for this, but just
Mhm.
be considerate and understand that's time away from their families, all on the hopes
Yeah.
of being paid and do the
Right.
work, y'all. If
Yeah.
I tell you, you know,
Mhm.
this is what needs to happen in
Mhm.
order to get you here,
Right.
do the work.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand. And why y'all do this? Y'all
Right.
listen to everybody but the person educated, licensed, insured, and regulated to do the job. Like,
right.
Lord.
I just
My
don't
friend
understand.
said,
You know,
my cousin
my Uncle
said,
Jim 20 years ago bought a house, and okay, that was 20 years ago.
Man, we in
Right.
2026.
The
right.
market is
Right.
ever changing, and I know I'm getting off subject.
No,
but that's just the
no,
whole
you're
evil
right.
mind. It's like y'all listen to everybody, but the person that's in the trenches every day
Right.
doing the work,
Yeah.
every year taking the courses, getting the education.
Right.
There's a reason I have to do 12 hours of continuing education every year, okay? Because the market
Exactly.
is ever evolving. There's
Yes.
laws and rules that are changing. And I appreciate and I love your Uncle Johnny for trying to tell you about his home buying purchase.
But Uncle Johnny don't know.
But Uncle Johnny don't know, okay? So please listen to Uncle Johnny, but also listen to
Right.
your real estate professional.
Listen to Buy With Beaudoin.
Right.
Listen to Buy With Beaudoin LLC.
Please. But why don't we do that though? We really
I do. We do that, and not
Yes.
just in real estate.
No.
I mean, I'm sure.
Everything.
Girl,
Yeah.
Carla.
Yes.
Google said, well, trust Google then.
Okay.
Google said I have an aneurysm. No, baby.
No.
You know,
Yes,
that's
I'm
not it.
sure in the
And my-
medical profession. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, this good.
Yeah.
Hold
My
on.
dad, I tell him all the time, what did Dr. Google tell you?
Exactly.
Oh
That
my
you're dying.
God.
Because that's what Dr. Google
Exactly.
will tell you. You're dying.
Exactly. And I said, so you ready to hear from some expert advice?
Okay.
Or you ready to still listen to
That
Dr.
is so
Google
funny.
or
That's
Chat
so funny.
GPT or Copilot and this and the other?
Yes.
Well, they say my symptoms. Oh, they say.
They
We'll go
say.
back to them.
Okay.
You know?
Absolutely.
Later on.
Yes.
And you said something, and it stuck with me of why we chose you, because you are a trailblazer. Because you said sometimes 2 years before purchase.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I've known real estate agents that will pawn someone off to someone else because they feel like it's taking too much time and they just want that sale. Or they rush someone into a buy.
I'm very hands-on.
You
very
are setting a mark.
hands-on.
She sure is.
So look, let me tell you, I will say this, and I'm gonna have people mad at me. I don't believe in that credit repair stuff. Okay, not paying a company.
Gotcha.
I started from the bottom with my own credit, and I'm not claiming to be a professional.
Right.
But I started from the bottom and I built it up. Me and my husband, we worked on it. We got it where it needed to be.
Right.
And so what I'm very hands-on, like I said. So when my clients come to me, and a lot of times they apologize and say, well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. That's okay.
Yeah.
This is part of the process. Most people aren't ready. It's what we do in the 6 months leading up to you buying the house that's most important. So we're going to sit down. We're going to look at your credit report.
Wow.
I'm going to pull my lender in. She's going to look. She's going to tell us what we need to work on, what we need to get rid of to get you where you need to be. The process starts well before we start opening doors and looking at houses. Okay.
Wow.
We're going to set a budget. I've got a home buyer guide. We're going to go through that guide because I need you to be educated because this is a 30-year investment. Okay.
Right.
And I need you to know what to do before, during, and after the process. And that's another reason why I keep in contact with my clients after the fact, because I don't want people to lose their houses.
Right.
You know, life happens to everybody, and I can't help them avoid all the issues. But if I can help them navigate some, you know, and just be educated, that's my goal. That's my goal.
Right.
Oh,
so
thank you.
So if you haven't heard, we just said Buy With Beaudoin. BAUDOIN.
What she said.
Right. Look her up on all social media outlets, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yes.
Get hooked up. So you will have somebody that will help you through the process and not just sell your house and you don't hear from them anymore.
And y'all, there are tons of I know tons of wonderful real estate agents in Northwest Louisiana. If you don't want me for whatever your reasons, I can give you a name, give you a source. You know, if buying a home, investing, selling is your goal, that's what we want to see you accomplish.
You're a man.
Just listen, okay? She just keeps making
Well,
Well,
I understand it, you know. Some people, again, it's a very intimate process. And you need to be comfortable with the person you're working with and disclose. And you may not want me to know, you know, if we're cousins, you may not want me to know the fine details of you and your husband and your household and your income. I get that. That's fine. Work with somebody that you feel comfortable with, okay? That you can ask the hard questions to. Because there are questions that are going to need to be answered. There are things that are going to come up in the process, and you need to be comfortable having that uncomfortable conversation like we talked about to get to your end goal. So
That's true. And I like how you said letting them know ahead of time. There are things that it's going to come out anyway.
Mhm.
So you might as well just
be honest.
upfront with it in the beginning.
Be upfront
so
and
you can
honest.
tackle and go, okay, we have X, Y, and Z that you've done.
These
You
are the
haven't done
hurdles.
this. These are the hurdles. Here
Absolutely.
they are. And be upfront with me so we can work through it. Because if
Absolutely.
not, you're just going to prolong the process
You're
and
not
make
doing
it
yourself
harder.
a favor
I can't help
at
you
all.
if you don't
Right.
let me know what's going on.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That's
I
true.
love that. I love that.
I do too, honey. I got a question for you too.
What's that?
Okay. Sometimes women feel like they have to dim their ambition so they don't intimidate people. Have you ever felt pressure to shrink your success or tone yourself down to make others comfortable?
No, not really. I can't think of. No, I'm gonna say no. Actually, probably the exact opposite. So a lot of times when I'm in rooms, I run into people and I talk to people. I actually just had this conversation with my beautician the other day. Is I find people who aren't comfortable, you know, walking in their power, their light, you know, hearing their own voice, just walking in their ministry and bragging on themselves. I don't know why people feel like you can't be humble and still be confident, because I believe both things are true. And so I most oftentimes find myself encouraging people, especially women, because y'all know I love women, and I think women are powerful. And we are. And so I most oftentimes find myself talking to people, women, about, you know, just speaking their truth, being confident in who they are and letting God use them and walking in their power and their ministry and not shrinking for anybody, you know. That's more often than not my experience for whatever the reasons.
She talking to me.
She talking to me too.
Because I did, because I'm loud by nature. That's just who I am. And I tell people all the time, I'm not always politically correct. The grammar may be off. I am who I am. However, I know what I know.
That's right.
You know, and I deal with my patients differently. But in a male-dominated, at first, you know, we have more female nurse practitioners. We have more Black female nurse practitioners now. But at the very beginning, it's like we had to be something that we weren't, just to fit into a male-dominated profession. And so I found myself, you know, trying to critique and fit in. And then I always think of Dr. Seuss's thing, and people, why fit in when you were born to stand out?
That's right.
So if you can't take my loudness at times, if you can't take my unorthodox way of interacting with my clients, then that's a you problem. That's no longer a me problem.
Absolutely.
And it took me, like, somebody just really sitting me down and me doing the work for myself to realize because the lady asked me, who are you? And I couldn't answer her because I kept saying different things. She was like, no, who are you?
I like
and
that.
I said, Lord, I need to do the work.
I like that.
Now you get me. Unapologetic. You get this,
as it
Karla,
should be.
You
as
know?
It should be.
And I'm okay. And now the doors God is opening because I'm okay with who I am. I said I worked on becoming her. Now this year I am her.
You are.
Absolutely.
You know?
Good.
And if you don't like it,
well,
you know,
the people that matter don't mind.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's the reality of it. And people are always going to have an opinion, so you might as well just be who you are, unapologetically. And like I told her, it's okay to, you know, pop your stuff and talk about, you know, who you are. You've got 15 years in the, you know, in the hair industry. You built your business from the bottom up. Be proud of that. You know?
And you do. I want to give you your flowers, like you, because you motivate and you inspire me, because you are you. Like what you see is what you get at all times. And I just watch you and I'm like, I love her. So you motivate me to be like, you know what? That's my dancing partner. That's, you know, I mean, but that's my girl. She is always just genuinely her. And I love that about you. And I think when I just connected, I was like, man, so you are an inspiration that I don't have to shrink. I don't have to dim my light. And don't get mad at me if I walk in a room and all eyes end up being on me. That's not my problem. That's me walking in my purpose.
That's you walking in your purpose, your ministry. That is right. And you know, I don't have imposter syndrome, so I know any room that I enter, I'm supposed to be there. I may not know why. I may not know, but I do know I'm meant to be in that room. And why not me?
That's right.
Who said why not me?
Baby, you preaching over
you know
what I mean? Didn't we just do that 2 podcasts ago? She literally said, Carolyn, she was one of our guests, and she said, stop saying why me, and our season of why not me.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Why not me?
Yes.
You know,
because I did that with the foundation when we talked about why not me?
exactly.
Why not be the change?
Absolutely.
And you are.
Be the change you want to see. Yes.
We walking in, baby.
You making strides. From your heart health line dancing,
she
just all
is.
the things that you're
my
doing.
God.
I just see
so
you.
Right,
I see her growing and
yes.
flourishing, and how you're just, even with talking.
I know, because she can be so quiet. And I just look back at it and I'm like, look at her on the mic in front of all these people. She would have, when the Sharde I first met,
right.
Never. And I'm just so proud of you.
Even the podcast, watching you from our very first, how we've just grown and evolved. That's why we kind of rebranded Unfiltered Conversations for Evolving Women, because we've evolved over this time.
All of us,
You know, since May, we're not the same Sharde and Karla that sat down for that very first podcast.
And you're not supposed to be.
That we are today, and I love it. And I'm ready for where else we're going to grow.
God has so much stuff in store for us.
He does. He does. But you got to let him use you.
Got to let him use you.
And that's what I was telling her. You got to let him use you.
Because you have it.
You do, for real.
Yeah, we get on you. You have it. It's
She's
in
like,
you.
y'all didn't turn
You
this.
just have to. It's in you.
I'm walking in it.
You are.
She's walking in it.
You are. I love it.
I'm walking in it.
Sure.
It's like a proud big sister. Like,
I know.
But I feel like with you guys, and there's some other ladies too, that just have always kind of, taken care of me and loved on me.
Yeah.
And
and that's my prayer to God, that God align my business with the people that it needs to be aligned with. People who are equal-minded and just share the same core values, and he's doing it.
And that's exactly why I had made that post the other day. I don't want to sit at there. I don't want to sit in any seat. I want to sit at the seat that God has ordained.
Absolutely.
For me.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't need to be at everybody's seat.
You sure don't.
Yes.
You got to protect your energy.
You got to protect your energy. Everybody is not going to, your peace. Everybody is not going to pour into you. They're not going to love you unapologetically.
Absolutely.
And on purpose. They're not going to do that.
And some people don't want to be around you to
what you can do for them,
eat off of you, what you can do for them, or what they can get from you, what they can steal. Not that anything's sacred, everything under the sun, has been done before, but at the same time, some people are only around you to watch you.
That's right.
And see how you how you do things and try to emulate it.
What's that monitoring spirit though? That's exactly
a monitoring spirit. That's right. That's right.
To see what you do.
That is so true.
How you still bliss? I didn't throw out these
slurs and absolutely.
And you still survive.
Yep.
That's so true.
You do have to be careful of that
and be mindful.
You do.
Staying prayed up and keeping my blinders focused so I can see and discern.
That's right.
Because everybody is not meant to be. No. And I had to realize too, everybody's not my assignment. Some people will attach themselves to you to just pull from you, almost
and
like
drain.
a tick.
Yes, ma'am.
And
drain. They are draining. Absolutely.
And it's like, wow, it's like you're just connected to me for what you see in me. And not saying that I'm better, but I'm confident in what I am and what I provide, and the light in me and God's in my ministry and the knowledge that God has given me.
Absolutely.
But I do know people will use you.
Absolutely.
Use you
if you allow it.
And if the minute that you say no, there'll be a problem.
It'll be a problem. That's right. That is so true.
So I got one final look. Well, we might have one or two.
Okay. I'm ready.
So this one is looking back at when you first started. If you could sit down with the version of yourself, with the younger version of yourself, what's one lesson you had to learn the hard way that you would warn her about?
Don't take it personal.
Oh,
that I was going
to say
earlier.
Don't take it personal.
Everything is not to be taken personal.
Everything's not to be taken personal. And I'll use that in a business standpoint. I spoke earlier, my cousin decides to work with another realtor. I'm not going to take it personal because, who knows what God's blocking me from. Maybe that relationship wouldn't have survived this transaction, this process. Quality over quantity. I spend months setting up home buyer workshops. I'll get 25 people to register and 2 might show up. But again, I'd rather 2 people who want to be in the room, do the work, be there, than 25 people coming to eat my snacks. Because that's what y'all be doing. Coming to eat my snacks and drink my wine. Yes.
They do. Look, when I be having the tables at the health
Yes.
seminars and stuff like that.
They just come picking. They don't want the
They
information.
just,
Yes,
and they just put it
ma'am.
in their bag.
Yeah.
But you know what our church makes sure we do when we have our
What?
things? You have to stop at the table and you have to listen to
Oh,
their
really? They sure
presentation.
Really?
And once you've listened, the person who's presenting checks it off, and you move through the stations.
Oh, that's
Before
funny.
we give, because we do a backpack giveaway,
Uh-huh.
but you have to go to each station and listen before you
That's
receive
good.
your food
That's
ticket and your
good.
backpack, because those people are setting
Yeah.
up. That's
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah.
So we're just not
Well,
out here getting and the
you know what?
freebies, yes.
Yeah.
But still, I need you to listen.
Absolutely. You
You
know,
know,
that's
that's
the
important.
hardest
Yeah.
thing to do is get people
Yes.
to come and
Mhm,
listen, to
mhm.
even invest in themselves. It's not
Yes.
just about
Right.
me and the
Yeah.
sale. I mean,
Mhm.
whoever you're going to use,
Mhm.
but you know, just get the information. Knowledge is power.
Right, it
And there is
is.
too much knowledge and information and resources out here for y'all to
Right.
still be ignorant about
That's
certain
right.
things.
Huh,
No, I'm
clock
sorry.
it.
It, yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's a
Mhm.
choice.
That's
Right.
At this
right.
point, it's a choice.
That's true. I love this.
I do too.
Part 2 coming soon.
Okay, it
Listen,
is. It is.
this is
It
very
is.
unfiltered
Yes,
and bold and all the
yes,
things.
I'm sorry.
But I love that. No, ma'am, no apologies. You're unapologetic.
Yes,
You
right.
don't appreciate
That's
it because
true.
you were speaking to me when you said, "Don't take it personal."
Yeah,
And
don't
the-
take it personal.
Because
I
I
saw
do.
that.
I tend
I
to.
used to.
Yes.
And it got to the point where it was just like, God, why am I putting all this work and energy into things and people aren't showing up?
Yes.
You know, y'all hound my phone asking me 21 questions.
That's right.
But then when it's time to actually
Mhm.
show up, do the work, get the knowledge, I've got the lender here
Right.
to talk to you. You won't come.
Mhm.
You won't show up.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Right.
It's free.
Don't
You
have
know,
no
you have no
Right.
excuse.
Right.
You
No
know,
cost.
sacrifice a couple hours on a Saturday
Right.
for the betterment of you and your family.
Exactly.
You know, I've got the knowledge.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned. You know,
Right.
just show
Mm.
up.
Mm.
Just
Man.
show up. Even from, you know,
Mhm.
I'm a commissioned notary too, and so
Okay.
I would do workshops about, you know,
Mhm.
wills and I can't think of what else, power of attorneys and
Mhm.
just, you know,
Okay.
putting all the things, having the paperwork in place. You won't come and get that knowledge. If I've told people 20,000 times, you can't do a power of attorney once the person becomes incapacitated.
They
You
don't
can't.
understand
That's
that.
not. I don't know why they don't, because I keep telling them over and over again. You know, again,
Right.
put
That may
these
not be
things
their
in
wish.
place.
Yeah.
May not. I don't
Mhm.
know, but
Mhm.
it's just y'all get the knowledge, please.
Right.
The people
Free
that are out
knowledge.
here,
Free
free knowledge.
knowledge.
The people that are out here, it's for the betterment of you,
Mhm.
for your family. You get the knowledge.
Right.
Okay, let me
Love it.
see. We're going to go get to these rapid fire
Okay, what's rapid fire?
gems.
So our rapid fire GM segment is just takeaways that we feel are kind of like those hashtag moments.
Yeah,
Those
okay.
things, or if you got a journal and a pen, you need to
That's
write them
right.
down. 'Cause
Okay,
Right.
okay.
we're gonna
It's gonna be
spit some
good.
wisdom, rapid fire GM wisdom knowledge. That's what we'll say. We're
right.
gonna
All
change
right,
it up.
go ahead.
And if we read one and you can relate, feel
Mhm.
free. Let me
Okay.
see. So let me find this one. Ownership is more than property. It's power, stability, and the beginning of generational wealth, because the legacy is what you build today that will still be a blessing to people long after you're gone.
That's
Amen.
And that's not just with homes.
Amen. It's not.
You know, that's with changing the cycle, though.
That's
like we were
right.
talking about earlier
Absolutely.
with parenthood and feeling like I had to wear all those
Absolutely.
hats and wear all those
Yes.
masks, and I had to do this by the time that I'm 20 or
Mhm.
30 or 40. You know, I knew who God was all of my life. I was
Right.
raised in
Sure.
the Catholic Church. I knew my
Sure.
dad was Baptist. I would go do Easter speeches and Christmas program stuff
Right,
there.
right.
I knew who he was, but I ventured away. And for so long, I felt bad because I rededicated my life later on. But then I was listening to my pastor, and his dad was a pastor, but
Mhm.
he didn't get called to preach until later on in life. And so he
Yeah.
was like, you know, but I still did, you know,
That's
and so
right.
he was like, stop beating yourself up if you do things later in life.
Right.
And trying to keep up with other people.
Right.
So my
Right.
gem there and my mindset is do what works for you,
Right.
Yes.
and just build the legs and change these generational
Absolutely.
gaps and curses, even
That's
with
right.
men, with emotions and feelings and women,
Absolutely.
people pleasing, and you know, all
Right.
those things. We got to let that stuff go.
All of it go.
You know, and sweeping stuff under the rug. No, we need to
Mhm.
attack
Now
these
that's the
things.
big thing.
Yeah.
Have
With
the
family.
conversations.
Yes, we need
Yes.
to have those conversations.
Absolutely.
Because then you just create rift, and you'll have cousins that are mad at each other and don't even
Don't
know
even
why.
understand
why.
Because well, my grandma was mad at your grandma. But do
Exactly.
you even know why?
Does anybody know why?
Right, right. So you have
What
people,
happened?
Right, you have
Right.
long-standing feuds and
Right.
people that aren't even talking to each other. We had an actual, like some cousin, they were like, man, I wish we would have not allowed the older generation to cause a wedge in between us
Right.
because they were
Right.
like, we missed out on
Absolutely.
several family trips and different
Mhm.
things, letting our older, grandmas and whatever
Absolutely.
dictate, oh, don't go around them,
Yeah.
judgy,
They're
and they're not.
this, they're
Yes,
that. They,
yes.
yeah.
Only
No.
them for learn, like, man, you and your sister the bomb.
Absolutely.
So we got to change that.
Right.
Absolutely.
And stop being mad at people we don't even know why.
Why you're
Because
mad at them.
them people dead and in the ground.
Absolutely.
You can't dig them up and ask them what happened. You don't even know, so let it go.
And does it even
You know,
matter at this
right,
point?
exactly.
Regardless, like,
Exactly.
yeah, move on.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
a
my
good
thing
one.
is just changing.
Sure.
We got to change the
Mhm.
cycle and we got to change the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We do.
Okay. Mine is
Mm.
success means waking up every day knowing the work you're doing is bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Because wealth requires discipline, vision, and the courage to think beyond today.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I will tell you this.
Mhm.
It's funny that you say that because I would, and this is for somebody that may be tuning in that has a business that you feel like is not getting off the ground like it should, or someone that has something you feel like you're posting things and you're not getting the likes and you're not getting the shares and the things. Keep at it
Mhm.
because you never know who you're
Mhm.
reaching. And I say
Mhm.
that because when we first started our podcast, I was like, what are we doing wrong? People that we thought should be tuning in and this, but we realized we were reaching people beyond
That's
and stop
right.
thinking small and thinking local.
Yeah.
Right.
It goes
The
beyond
support
just
never comes from that
Right.
inner circle.
It's
It's
never-
always
Yes. And I had to
absolutely.
learn that. And now I
Mhm.
think bigger than Shreveport.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
Absolutely.
bigger than
Yes,
Louisiana.
as you
I'm like
should.
nationwide.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
That's
see
right.
us doing the podcast on the beach in Jamaica.
I love it.
You know,
Yes.
so I've learned to think outside of that. And they always used to say your best customers will be the ones that you aren't even connected
Absolutely.
It's true,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
It's true because I've
And-
had. I'm sorry.
Go.
Because even with my decorating or the
Mhm.
foundation or whatever, I've had so many people that I thought they
Mhm.
would support me,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but they didn't.
Mhm.
They wouldn't share, they wouldn't
Mhm.
like, they wouldn't
Mhm.
comment,
The
they wouldn't do
same.
anything.
Mhm.
The
Yes.
same.
But what I'm thankful for, and I'm gonna give her flowers again, in every single
Yes.
thing that I have ever tried, Qianna has supported it.
She
If,
has.
My
if I
baby-
can be there, I'm gonna be there.
My baby
If
show
not, I'm
up.
gonna show it somewhere.
Right.
Support it some
She
other way.
does.
I
and
try.
it's
Yes.
everything, and so I have to give you your flowers.
Oh,
I
receive them.
Yes.
have you kind of,
Mhm.
up
Put me
high.
up there, girl.
You up,
Sisterhood, honey.
you kinda
Right.
up high.
Well,
You're
thank you,
right.
darling.
You
Mhm.
always like.
Yes.
I'm talking about everything
Right.
I've done.
Well,
Like,
that goes back to what I said about you and Chad early in the beginning. Most people wouldn't have
Mhm.
given me that opportunity being
Right.
new
Right.
and somewhat inexperienced, but
Mhm.
you did. It wasn't a second thought. You
Mm-mm.
never considered anybody
Mhm.
else. And I appreciate
You
y'all
my
for
baby.
that.
Listen,
Yes.
and I don't think she
Yeah.
even remembers this. When I first started doing my little Majestic Health and Wellness events, she couldn't make it, but she sponsored another lady's ticket.
I
You know-
don't,
you
but
know,
but
yes.
I tried
She
to.
just, she couldn't even remember. She
I
was
don't
like,
remember.
She was
Yeah.
like, Karla, I can't make it. But she cash apped me and said, bless another lady.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I ended up was able to bless and when I say she really needed to be there
I'm
because
so
she was,
glad
it was
worked out
actually
that way.
Shauna, the daughter committed
Oh
suicide,
yeah.
and she needed to be around.
Oh,
And when I
no.
tell you those women poured into her and she needed
That's
that
great.
setting.
That's
And who
great.
the women that were there, I had no clue. Like there
Yeah.
was nobody there that I knew.
Wow.
It was all it was a lady.
Wow.
She said she saw it on some page,
Mhm.
and she's a truck driver. She was in town.
Wow.
What?
And she
really?
came and she invited
That's
someone else.
amazing.
So and
I
I
love
still
that.
I'm still
Yeah.
connected to those
That's
ladies.
good.
So I
I
just
love
say all
that.
that to say you poured into that, and because
Thank
that's who you are. You don't even remember
I
because you just have a genuine
Yeah.
I
heart.
just
It's
do
always
But you
like
right, but you were able to pay it
But
forward.
I'm so
And you
thankful.
because she was in a dark place.
Dark place.
And it just so
That's
happened
beautiful.
a lady that was there that had a similar situation,
Mhm.
and they connected.
That's
And
awesome.
they've gone to support groups and things
Yeah.
together.
And that's what it's all
Wow.
about.
So you just never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we don't have to compete. We can be each
No.
other's best resources,
Mhm.
and I think Sharde said earlier, what's for me is for me.
Right.
There are
Yes.
tons of real estate agents in Northwest
Right.
Louisiana, but anytime any of them need any
Mhm.
help, any
Mhm.
advice, if there's someone thinking about coming into real
Right.
estate, without a shadow of a doubt, call me. I'll help you through it.
Right.
It's okay because I know
Mhm.
God's gonna bless me
And
and put the right people in my path.
Yes.
Come on.
And I hope He does the same for you.
Because guess what? That's kingdom principles.
Yes,
honey.
it is.
You're
Yes,
sowing
absolutely.
seeds.
Yes.
And now you're reaping a harvest. You're
Absolutely.
sowing seeds, and your children are blessed because of the seeds you and your
Thank you.
husband have
Right.
sowed.
Thank you.
People don't understand that you are literally a trailblazer
Yes,
for
real,
you're
real.
getting everything that you deserve because you do the work and you do it you do it without a thought because that is really truly your makeup
That's
and your
right.
being. It's not you have to think about and do, oh, I'll do this so I can get.
Yeah, what
You
am I
just-
gonna get
Right,
from
you
this?
don't.
Yeah,
You
no,
just do it. It just
I don't.
gleams from you and
Yeah.
it pours out
Well,
of you
thank you.
because that's just genuinely who you are. Whenever I've been in your presence, I'm like, I love her. You know, it's just a good time. It's positive energy.
And I appreciate you accepting every invitation to come and speak at my girls' night out events because, honey, the people love you. They love to hear you talk.
You took a chance on me because I was new with that, and you gave me a platform. And from you giving me that platform, that very first girls' night out, from there I met Mika and had the platform for Purse Power. From that, I was the other doors open till we ended up sitting on talking about mental health and then the podcast. So it's those seeds. So you've been a part of that, and I thank you for seeing something in me. And I was like, okay, you know, I would talk here and there, and I like, but that was one of my first times of stepping out. You know, and actually doing.
And I would have never known because you handled it.
She
She did so good, didn't she?
No,
girl had everybody in the crying and carrying on.
That was the Holy Spirit.
You were meant for this, though.
Absolutely.
You were meant for it. Absolutely.
I get so nervous. I tell people
it's
all
okay
the time,
to be nervous.
I'll be like, oh Lord, and I'll get home and be like, oh, I could have said this, or I could have said that.
It's okay.
You know?
It's okay. You know,
I'm always critiquing me.
Well, that's what we do. That's what we do. We are our own worst critics. That's just because we want to put our best foot forward. And we want to, you know, check all the boxes, but that's okay, you know, because they were able to get a message from it. Trust me.
And from then on, it's just been like, wow. But when I gave him the drive, I tell people all the time, it was not until I got out of Karla, I got out of the way because I was trying to steer.
Absolutely.
And when I allowed him to direct me, Lord, you give me the words. And from there on, it's just been different. It's like I get up and I'm like, it just flows because it's him. It's not me.
Yes,
it's not me.
Beautiful.
I'm loving it.
This is a nice little closing one. Legacy is intentional. Every decision you make today shapes what the next generation believes is possible. When one woman rises, she doesn't rise alone. She pulls another chair to the table. That's how legacy is built. And that's what you did. You pulled the chair to the table for me, and then from there I pulled it. Like we living that
Women have been doing it for long before me because I don't know if y'all know, but just 50 years ago, women couldn't even get a mortgage without a male co-signer. And would you know that today single women own more homes in the U.S. than single males?
Wow.
58% to 42%. And it's all the result of one woman standing up, planting that seed, building on it, and then carrying it on. So
wow. But that also shows us how far we still need to go because 50 years wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Like
no, y'all better do the
math. I'm 45 about to be 46.
Exactly.
That wasn't that long
Isn't
ago.
That crazy?
So we still have a long way to go.
We absolutely
However, I know we are doing our part to set up so the next generations coming have good examples.
Absolutely.
And we're not over here burned out and tore down and raggedy. We get tired. Sometimes our cups get a little empty.
We do.
However, I think we've learned to balance because I'll see her when she's doing her little self-care day.
Absolutely.
And she's doing her little content.
Oh, it's mandatory.
So yesterday I had my day.
Yes. Let me tell y'all something. A normal Saturday for me now looks like I may get up, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee, sit on my patio, just be alone with my thoughts. I'm gonna do some cleaning, and then about 2:00, I'm running my bath.
Right.
I'm sitting in the bathtub with a glass of wine, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore.
Right.
I mean, I literally anytime way back when I did anything for myself. Outside of my husband and children, I felt bad. And I'm like,
selfish.
I felt selfish, and I had to learn. No. I've done everything for them. They have everything they need. They're comfortable.
Right.
I'm gonna take my bath.
Right.
Okay.
Self-care is
Self-care.
not selfish.
It is not selfish.
Necessary.
It is needed.
And they gonna figure it out.
They will.
Yes.
They'll survive. Absolutely.
Yes.
They'll survive.
Good.
Now, don't get me
Listen.
wrong. It's a lot easier now because they're older, but they still look to me for dinner and all the things.
Right.
Yes.
But you know,
I don't know. I saw on your son's Facebook the other day. I saw him and your husband in there cooking and grilling.
but you
and
know
he
why?
was frying chicken.
You
I was
know
like,
why?
look at them.
Because I taught him. I made sure
Right.
my son knew how to
Yes,
cook just
and he
as well
was.
as my daughter.
And
Yes.
it looked good. I wanted to
Yeah.
inbox him and say, "Girl, come to get me a piece of that
They
chicken."
both cook better than me. And I mean, he'll find recipes. Let me tell you something. The woman that marries my son,
Got a good one.
you're welcome. You are welcome, because honey, let me tell you something. Not only is he God-fearing, a hard worker, but he cooks, he cleans, he's got his head on straight, and he's easy on the eyes.
Listen, he is. Look, that baby gonna have so many friend requests when he gets home.
No. He has his fiance.
He does. But you know his inbox is about to be flooded. Watch his friend request goes up.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
They're gonna be out there. But I love this. I love this setting. I love what we've discussed today. Do you have any closing comments, remarks? Sharde, you?
I guess I'll close with this. Just don't be afraid of home ownership. I mean, everybody has to have a place to live. You're paying somebody's mortgage, whether it's your own or somebody else's. I know you may hear all the horror stories about the home buying process, but if you're prepared and you're connected with the right person, it is achievable.
I
love that. I love that.
And I would say to every woman that's listening, your story is still being written. You know,
absolutely.
Don't be afraid to step out on faith, whatever business idea, whatever God puts on your heart to do, move in it. Step out.
That's good.
I love that.
Step out.
And I'll read a little bit of this one. And if no one has told you lately, your dreams are valid, your vision is possible, and your impact is necessary. Because you should never underestimate the power of a woman who decides she's no longer waiting for permission.
I
love
love it.
Love that. That is good.
it.
That's real good.
We're not waiting for permission. Right. We're not waiting for the doors to open,
Not
which
at
I do
all.
believe God opens doors.
Absolutely.
But I also feel like some doors we open up.
Yeah.
We
You
have
know,
to.
You're
Yes.
the trailblazer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being the first realtor.
Yes.
You know, nurse practitioner.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
starting a nonprofit organization. Those type of
Absolutely.
things.
Yes.
If we don't do it, you know,
Right.
we're
Who's
showing
going to?
Who's going to do
Who's
it?
going
And we're
to
showing
do
people
it?
that they can do anything.
Right. And listen, we're not saying that it's easy,
It's not.
because it's some blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
However, it's achievable. And it's achievable when you align yourself with the right people.
That's right.
And you align yourself with God first and foremost. Because God will give you the people that you need.
Absolutely.
And don't and understand it may not be the people that you think.
Exactly.
And that's what I had to realize.
Absolutely.
It wasn't the ones that I was like, it should be. No, God said, no, that's not what I told you.
Right.
So realize it's not always who you think it should be.
Absolutely.
So take that step. And it doesn't matter if you're 23, 33, 43, or 53.
Yeah.
There's no society. Don't let it dictate what you should be doing at certain.
Absolutely.
If you still want to obtain a house, I had somebody say they buying a house at 50. Oh well,
and that's their business.
That's their goal. That's their dream. And if they did it, I'm clapping for them.
Absolutely.
You want to go? I had a lady. She said, "I'm 47. I want to go back to school. Go.
Go.
I will help you. Let me know how I can mentor you."
Yes, ma'am.
There's no time frame on when we can go back and achieve those things. If God is in it and He gives you the vision, He gonna give you the provision.
Absolutely.
So just do it.
I
had to get out of that. Do what you want to do at whatever time frame. Don't let people put you, like you said earlier, put you in a box.
Put you in a box.
So step out, honey, and do it.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Just do it.
Nike.
Just do it. So listen, y'all stay tuned though too, because the Sisterhood Podcast has been shouting out different careers.
Yes.
We started off with healthcare. So go and like and share and tag your favorite healthcare provider, anybody that works in medicine. We did education on Friday. So tag those teachers, those instructors. We have many more, different careers, entrepreneurships, things to, highlight. So stay tuned and look and see. So when your little career, whether you're a makeup artist, whether you do the best lashes and brows in town, be on the lookout so that you can tag, and also tag your business, because that allows people to see we do have these, careers and these women that are trailblazing in our very city, state, whatever, so that you can showcase your business.
Yes, ma'am.
So be on the lookout for that.
And I was gonna say something just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all stay on the lookout. Sisterhood Podcast getting ready to celebrate their 1 year.
Ooh, congratulations.
We
Y'all-
Love
ready.
it.
Y'all be on the lookout for celebration.
Yes.
Seeing y'all there.
Yes, we want y'all to come out and celebrate us 1 year, 12 months, 52 weeks.
I'm excited. I'm excited for y'all.
Yes, we're excited for us too. And y'all listen, if you have a podcast, if you have an idea, if you have something, get with my boy Darren Willis with Social Goats.
Social
You, hey, he will get you in there. He will get you right. He will take your podcast to the next level. Listen, there is no us without him.
Ooh, I love it. I love
That's
it.
our boy. So
Yes.
check him out. Check out the other podcasts that he has streaming on his page. All Things Social Goat. He's on every platform, radio. Like, check him out. Tune in. If we're not your cup of tea, find your cup of tea.
That's
we're good
right.
with that.
Mhm.
So until next time.